ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, שהכל נהיה בדברו. The Torah tells us, that's the 5 books of Moses. At one point God says, I present before you life and death, and you shall choose life. So our rabbis interpret that. What does that mean? That means that each father should teach his son a trade. In other words, in order to live, you have to be able to do something, to build something, to make a living. And ask yourself, is it worthwhile living in today's world? You know, we're now in September 2017. North Korea is threatening the world, the United States, with intercontinental missiles with nuclear warheads, threatening Japan, threatening South Korea. Can we live in such a world? We are now in Miami. We just had a tremendous hurricane. You know, nature is terrible. In Mexico, in Guatemala, and I don't know where else, there were earthquakes. You know, there's destruction all over. Is it worthwhile living? Well, one has to think about it. Some years ago, some scrolls were found in the neighborhood of the Dead Sea in caves, hidden by a group called the Essenes. They were separatists. They lived in caves because they felt that society will vitiate, will spoil their way of living. Society was immoral, so they lived by themselves. Those scrolls are very important because they tell us a lot about life in those years, and we're talking about thousands of years ago. They are being published and deciphered and studied in order to understand more about the beginnings, really, of Christianity also, and Judaism, how it developed throughout these years. There are monks that live in monasteries. Why do they live in monasteries? Well, they want to reflect. They don't want to be contaminated by society. They feel maybe that society is not the right place where a human being can live. Or maybe they think the rest can do so, but they somehow want to live apart. There are many Hasidic groups in the Jewish world that live by themselves. They live sometimes in their own cities. They come into a city and start buying up all the houses, and then it becomes a Hasidic city. In Israel, there are certain neighborhoods that are just Hasidic elements live there. They don't have any television, no internet, because they feel that the messages on television corrupt society, that the internet can mislead their young people. So they try to live apart in the world, all by themselves. Now, my question is, what shall we do? Shall we live in such a society, or shall we integrate? There are some that go to the Far East. They're looking for some Oriental teachings of how to live apart, not as part of Western civilization that they feel has already been vitiated, has already been corrupted. Well, I think that the fact that Judaism says that a father is obligated to teach a trade to his son, by the way, you should also teach him how to swim, our rabbis say, to defend himself against anything. I think that this is a sign that Judaism believes in a positive way in this society. What do we have to do? We have to, in a certain way, overcome these things. You know, each earthquake has to teach us how to build buildings, how to build homes that will resist these tremors. Each hurricane has to teach us how to build homes, how to build institutions that can face such calamities that happen. And by the way, let us not forget that each and every one of these instances also brings out the best in other human beings. When you see one person helping another, because when there are problems, and the problems are common to everybody, not only do you have looting by some, I think you have many more expressions of friendship and brotherhood by many more. So I think that actually our response has to be, you have to be involved. You have to be involved in society. Don't separate yourself. To the contrary, each and every time that nature tries to destroy you, you learn more. You become a better human being. Intellectually, you grow. Scientifically, you grow. And as time goes by, each and every one of these threats to our survival will be overcome. And above all, you will be a better and more intelligent human being.